Who's your favorite Batman villain?
My favorite Batman villain is Hush.
My favorite Batman villain is the Riddler.
The Joker.
My favorite Batman villain is the Joker.
My favorite villain is the Heath Ledger Joker.
Scarecrow.
Poison Ivy.
My favorite Batman villain is the Joker.
And why do you like them?
Well, because he's not very popular, but he gets under Batman's skin.
Because he makes the Batman think. It's not just a straightforward, oh, I'm gonna kill your family. It's more of a plays with his mental psyche.
Would you say he is obsessed with Batman?
I would say that the Riddler is obsessed with Batman, yes.
Because he is so funny. He makes the whole audience laugh.
Because I think Heath Ledger did an amazing job.
Heath Ledger's Joker, he doesn't have superpowers. He's just insanely genius. And the vibe you get off of him is just pure creepiness and yet respect.
Because he becomes what Batman and everyone else fears.
Why?
Hot.
Because he really tests Batman's ability, and also because I feel like I've been told that I look like him.
The Batman is a character whose existence delves into the world of darkness and psychological problems and grit. He resides in a city where corruption and disorder are the norm. His character was given birth through psychological trauma at a young age after seeing both his parents gone down in front of him in a dark alley. It is only natural that his behavior, his villains, and his stories emit such darkness, since the character is determined to rid his city of its bondage and place these villains in the Arkham Asylum for the criminally insane. Meteor scholar Jack Nelson, and author of The Disabled, The Media, and the Information Ages, points out 6 major stereotypes in films. One of the stereotypes pointed out by him that relates to the Batman villains in particular is that disabled individuals are often considered as threat or an evil villain. There are over 100 Batman villains, but the most popular of them all display or have some form of mental disability. So why do a majority of Batman villains suffer with mental disabilities? To explain the use of using mentally disabled people as villains, Eric Bender, a health professional that fully analyzed Batman, states that we can add a lot of richness and realism to stories and characters. Disabled or mentally insane villains intrigue the audience through their different background story and sadistically insane acts. The viewer finds crazy villains more intriguing than the average criminal. To understand why the audience is more interested in the insane, we are going to analyze 3 popular Batman villains.
What the hell are you? I'm Batman.
Formerly the district attorney of Gotham City, Harvey Dent was an ally of Batman and Commissioner Gordon, until he had acid thrown onto the left side of his face by a mob boss, scarring him for life. The incident drove Harvey insane and he became Two-Face, obsessed with chance and always carrying a double-headed coin which he flips to determine his every decision. Two-Face is a constant character in the Batman mythos. Like most comic book published characters, a majority of Two-Face's appearances come from DC published comics like Batman and Detective Comics. His influential role in the Batman mythos has landed him live action and animated screen time as portrayed by Tommy Lee Jones in Tim Burton's Batman Forever, Aaron Eckhart in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, and Richard Moore's voice for the character in the Batman the Animated Series. So over the years, he has shown different types of mental disorders, the most popular being dissociative identity disorder, a disorder characterized by the presence of 2 or more distinct personality states in the individual.
Now, Harvey, I would like to speak with your other personality. I would like to talk with Big Bad Harv. Big Bad Harv?
Speaking.
Two-Face's actions are left to chance, which therefore causes him to heavily rely on his coin to make decisions, an indicative sign of obsessive-compulsive personality. A disorder distinguished by an obsession with orderliness, perfectionism, and mental interpersonal control at the expense of flexibility, openness, and efficiency.
I'm sorry, Harvey. No. No, you're not. Not yet.
Next up, we have Harley Quinn. Previously an Arkham Asylum psychiatrist, Harleen Quinzel fell madly in love with one of her patients, known as the Joker. She helped him escape the asylum, changed her name to Harley Quinn, and ran around Gotham City murdering, robbing, and doing just about anything to make her puddin' smile. According to the Royal College of Psychiatrists, after fully analyzing her character, she suffers with dependent personality disorder, or the long-standing need for the person to be cared for. People with this disability often fear being abandoned and separated from the important people in their life. Though the disorder is shown as being a highly extreme case in the example of Harley Quinn, the viewers can see this through her constant fear of being left behind by the Joker, and in response to that fear, doing anything to make him happy despite their abusive relationship.
Marvin, you're free! Just in time to see the
Put them back! Joke! And don't call me Puddin'.
Harley Quinn is often shown as weak and unable to make a decision without the Joker around, despite her smart background.
Arguably one of the most famous Batman villains in the character's history, unlike ordinary criminals, Batman can't master Joker's method of criminal behavior because he'll do just about any crime, and it's never simple when Batman or any other good guy will try to defeat the Joker. The Joker, created by Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson, made his first appearance in the Batman comic book on April 25th, 1940. The character's popularity has landed himself animated roles and also live-action roles, as voiced by Mark Hamill in the Batman the Animated Series, Jack Nicholson in Tim Burton's Batman, and Heath Ledger in Nolan's The Dark Knight.
You want to know how I got these scars? My father was a drinker. He comes at me with the knife. Why so serious? Let's put a smile on that face.
Joker often acts savage to get Batman's attention, and his beliefs are the complete opposite of Batman. He acts him through his violent criminal behavior. He has no attachments like the rest of Batman's villains who, for the most part, commit crime for money, revenge, or power. He's an agent of chaos who has caused Batman more suffering than any other villain he has ever faced. His origin, name, and true motivations remain a mystery. Though it has never been expressively said, Joker seems to have antisocial personality disorder, a mental health disorder characterized by disregard for other people.
I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
In conclusion, why do viewers find these three over-exaggerated examples of mental disabilities interesting despite the negative attitude that we obtain towards the disabled? These stories have historically sold well. People have adapted to this norm and love the stories and background that these characters offer. The problem with these representations of the villains are that even though they are credited with being shown as having a certain disability, the representation is inaccurate and often over-exaggerated, and leads the audience to a false image of what the mental disability consists of. This false representation leads to the fear that the public will develop an irrational belief that people that suffer with these mental disabilities are hostile and a threat to the safety of the public.
And hey, please tell the big man I said hello.
My name is Denzel Smith.
Speak out, please. Please.
You gotta be loud.
Yeah, come on.
My favorite Batman villain is the
We'll do that again. Okay.
The hot scientist with, Yeah, see, I don't know how to answer this.
Who's your favorite Batman villain?
Why would you say he's the greatest of all time, though?
It's just the Joker, man. It's unexplainable. I don't know, he's the best.
Damn. That's some fanboy shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah.